That's like my game plan. It's just like, let's run it until we just get some.
It's like that every time. It's pretty easy to get clips, especially when you have a comedian like yourself.
You know, we're sit-down comedians.
Yeah, I agree.
Ourselves.
Yeah. You got a pretty on-the-cuff sense of humor, bro.
I appreciate it. It's an acquired taste sometimes.
You watch comedy?
Yeah, big time.
Who you watch?
Personally, like recently.
You like Shane Gillis?
Yeah, Shane's good. The fucking Tyra show. That thing's pretty funny. They're coming out with season 2 and the next.
It's all right. It's good.
Bert Kershire's good. It's just like me personally, that's where I want to be. I want to be a comedian, but I want.
Do you really?
Yeah, I want to do like improv. So that's like why.
No way.
That's why I love doing the skits. That's why I love doing like my Instagram reels and stuff like that. Just because like it's fun, it's entertaining, it's like on the cusp kind of stuff. So like kind of mix between like SNL and like Wild 'N Out.
Dude, well, your page is like blown up recently, and you give a lot of credit to your new love of your life. How did you guys get in contact with each other?
Funny story. We were in Mexico for the year-end trip for Nissan.
Right.
And just got done playing a round of golf with Trevor. And
At Cabo?
Yeah. Literally right before, like we were walking into the year-end party at 7 o'clock. We got done with golf at like 6:45.
Uh-huh.
So I go take a shower, put my cowboy hat on. We go downstairs, meet up with the twins, and then see this girl walk in, like 5'10", brown hair. I'm like, you don't work for the company.
She didn't?
No. But
Really?
Sergio brought some girl he met online Tinder.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the funny that we're bringing this up here on the cast. But it's like,
so she was Sergio's plus one?
So this girl Natalie was with Sergio, and then like they were just in Cabo together. And Sergio was like, hey, both you girls can come hang out. They went to the year-end party, and Natalie and Sergio were a thing, and like she does kind of her own thing. She just stays to herself. I look at her. I'm like, who are you? I can't stop looking at her the whole year-end party. Like literally Jordan, CJ, everybody's up there, and I'm just like peeking over at like Russo's table, and I'm like, who are you? How do I find a way to just like start a conversation? And short story, we all went to the club afterwards, and Vic was throwing bottles in the middle of the crowd. I don't know if you remember that.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you didn't go to Mezcal?
I'm not a clubber personally.
I wish you were there. Cause
you know what's crazy is that week before we got there is when me and Lacey found out that she was pregnant. So like, drinking stopped completely that week.
Well, you drink now for her.
No,
I know,
we don't drink.
I know.
But I mean, we dabbled here and there. We weren't becoming drunks or anything, but social drinking. I think it's because we grew up like Christians and stuff. So our parents, no alcohol, never at parties and stuff like that. And now, I mean, yeah, I think now like our family, like I don't want to open up our family life, but drinking's not as frowned upon as it was when I was a kid. Okay. But anyway, long story short, I did see that video. It would have been cool to be there. Yeah. But Lacey's pregnant. I can't just say, hey, you're not allowed to drink. I'm just gonna go to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So after that video,
where he's freaking out with the yeah.
I was like, I'm done with this sausage fest. Mm-hmm. Did a 360 around the club. Just was like, I'm gonna just go find a friend, and I just see her on her phone. I walk up to her. Me and her start talking. Not going to get into the details what our conversation was about, but let's just say we went to go take a shot, and then next thing I know, we went to the club. That night, we ended up spending it with each other. She asked me to stay at her Airbnb for the next night. She was like, switch your flight. And I was like...
I remember we were talking about that. And remember because we were on the bus from the airport?
Yeah.
You're like, dude, should we stay an extra day and get a different flight? And you actually followed through and did that.
I was with Najee. Oh. I look at Najee and I'm like, Najee, come here. Because she's so beautiful. She's so hot. I thought she was part of the cartel. I really did. I was like, I need protection. If I'm going down, I'm going down with somebody else. And I was like, Najee, love you, buddy, but you're coming with. I was like, bro, you want to switch your flight? He's like, hell yeah. We went to the sickest Airbnb. Like this spot, it was the most beautiful way to look at Cabo. And I've never like not been in a hotel when I've gone to Mexico. So just like being up and seeing everything from that perspective, it was insane.
Nice.
Hashtag, you can see our photo up on my Instagram, Gucci Pirate 55.
Wait. So you guys were in the Airbnb. You guys took a photo.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see where it all started. But it's really good, man. I mean, your page is absolutely blowing up. You got 12K. I mean, your videos, it looks like you're averaging like 100K on a few of them. It's just really, really good. And how was she there? Like, she like had her own business before?
So she was just in town. She just got back from Europe. I think they decided they just wanted to just get away and go to Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
And girls trip.
Nice.
Girls trip that weirdly enough fell into a Canadian-American relationship.
Oh, she's Canadian?
She's Canadian.
What?
Yep. So she's not even from the States, and especially everything that's going on with the tariffs and Trump, it's been pretty crazy.
She on like a visa here? I don't want to expose her.
No, so like funny you brought that up. We can clip it out if anything. But she is I'm thinking about considering just bringing her on here, working here, and just hiring her on for that, and then looking at the marriage down the road, because getting the marriage license is a lot harder than getting a work visa.
Well, because you got to get her like a green card, right?
Exactly. And especially like her life, she's a social media, like she's an influencer, so that's what she does 24/7. Us being able to work with each other and do the videos and like having like an environment like this,
Yeah.
that's what the next step is. And it's like pretty crazy. 3 months we've been together, and it's like she's my piece.
That's good.
And it's like
You never had this with any other girl? You feel like this is like something you've never experienced before?
I've had similar, but it's not like, doesn't feel like the same dynamic, because it's like I care about like even like the littlest things, like even if I'm in the wrong, to make sure that like she feels heard. And at the same time, like communication is key. It's like if you don't have communication with your partner, it's like, is it lust? Are you just in it because it's comfortable? Like just learning from the mistakes, like being 31 years old. It's like,
You're 31? I had no idea. What?
cheers.
Yeah, dude, cheers. Good for you, man. 31? Man, that homeowner that we sat with wasn't lying, bro.
No,
You come off like you're in your 20s.
Yeah, so I looked at him and I was like, dude, you look like you're 25, 26. He was
Yeah.
like, what, 38 with 3 kids? He's like, I got a 19-year-old. I'm like, I guarantee the 19-year-old looks older than you, buddy.
Oh, he did? Oh, I need to go back and run the 19-year-old's credit.
Oh, they failed?
Yes. Remember I told
my gosh, yes.
They double failed. Even the sun run. All of them.
Well, you know what?
I didn't even think about the 19-year-old. Now I think about it now.
We've got a credit repair company. Just give them 3 months.
You do?
No, we do. Wise.
Never heard of it.
Or Wipe.
Dude, I'm so out of the loop on
After
that.
we're done with this, yeah. And then Railcat's got a couple guys that can fix their credit too.
There's always guys pitching me, I'll fix your credit. Then they're asking me for like a $2,000 cut or like 40%. And I'm just, I'm like, is this worth it? Maybe, how about I just wait for the homeowner to do it naturally?
Are you going to help out the homeowner actually? Like, that's what I think comes down to. Like, am I going to pay $2,000 to help this homeowner's credit? And like,
You know what? You're right. Because back when I was ripping deals like that, I was like literally my like 2024 review with the managers was that I wasn't ripping high enough EPCs because I was so focused on getting them a good deal. My EPCs were like 5.5.
I'm the same way with you. My whole thing is like, sometimes when I see like I'm making too much, and people are going to hate me for saying this, but it's like, I want some of these homeowners to really actually like see savings, but I want referrals. Like, that's my game.
That's huge.
Like, my whole process is like, I want to build a relationship with you. I want to make you the expert by the end of this. But at the same time, like, mom, dad, sister, brother have probably been in the same boat as you guys, and they don't understand it. So my job is to make sure that it's just so clear that you guys see the savings. But I want to help out not just you, but mom, dad, sister, brother, and then it trickles down from the family tree.
And those you can rip. Yeah.
It's simple. And it's like, hey, here's your problem. Here's the solution. Here's a plan of action.
Yeah. Yeah. We just did that with a referral. Her name's Liz. We did an undercut though. They had an Everbright, and in order to win they were promised them $1,500 cash back, and we had to match their incentives, and I had to beat their rate. I had them cancel, block everything, but we literally made $2,000 like total off the deal. It was so low. And then thankfully though, she's like a well of referrals, and the next referral we ripped an 8 EPC. Now we have another one we're going to do this week.
But when you walk in there, they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, Liz recommended you, we're doing it. So yeah. And that's probably the only time I'd see it worth it, but yeah, but that's what they told me going into this year. They're like, look, solar, you don't know how long it's going to be around. You know, you're still saving them money, but it seems like you're almost holding back. Like as much as you need to help them, you need to help yourself, help your family. So yeah, that was a big part of like I think I want to say 90 installs last year, but this year I want to turn that around like big time. So we got off to a good start.
Yeah, this year over in the east side, that's the biggest thing. Like, we dog everybody that's not selling like at a 7, 7.5, 8. There's guys that are doing 10 EPCs. And it's crazy. They're still saving the family 30%.
Yeah. Clayson just ripped an 11 kilowatt 10 EPC. That was his $54,000 check.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Off of just...
You saw it, right?
Yeah, just off of one.
Yeah, he had everybody freaked out. Will's calling us. JB's trying to... No, I'm just playing. I don't know if JB got
He probably got the email from Bright.
You get that email? I just got that email, yeah.
And he was like, quick question.
This commission's a little high.
Yeah. Is there any other incentives that we don't know about, like roofing? I'm like, no, we're good. It's fine.
Why do they ask that? Because if we're going to pay it out of our pocket...
Documentation probably, just in case they slipped up and they just made a mistake. Cause
wasn't JB saying on the call it had to do with like tax, like them, like what they file for taxes or something like that?
You might have picked that up. I might have skipped right past that.
I can't tell. But yeah, in my mind, it's like, dude, what I do with my bank account is my business, you know? It's like if it's not on the adders, if you guys aren't paying for it, you know, you just let me make my money, dude.
Help me.
Right.
Help me.
Right. I think what I appreciate is like it's good for installs. But yeah, I just want to go back to that in terms of your relationship, man. Like it looks like you guys jumped on the power duo because, I mean, you know, I dated a lot in high school, but I remember when I met Lacey, it was kind of what you said. The difference was when we did decisions, I wasn't immediately, is that you?
Yeah.
I wasn't immediately thinking, how does this affect me? Started thinking more, how does this affect her specifically? So once I knew I was thinking more, how does my life affect her? I realized, you know, I actually think I love her, you know, and then
it's not just surface level.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And it's like with us, it's not every day's easy, but at the same time, it's like we understand each other.
Yeah.
And we're still starting to understand each other because like, yeah, we're doing well, but when we look at it, it's been only 3 months.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it to me. It's weird. It seems like you guys have the dynamic of like a 2-year deep relationship. It's good.
But her mindset, like that's the one thing I appreciate. It's like she's not scared of like doing what she needs to get done, and she just has a game plan and wants to accomplish it. And it's like, here's a goal, here's the task, what do we need to do at hand, and then there's just get it done. And most relationships, it's not really like any kind of urgency. So it's like a bed frame, for example. She just felt uncomfortable being in Canada and coming here. And then it's like she's living with another guy. I've got Tim as the roommate. And it's like she's coming here and transferring her life. And like I wanted to make sure that she was like comfortable and she felt like it was home. That was like my biggest thing. Because it's like if I really, really care about this person, like what could I do for you to make this feel like home? And she was like, I want a bed frame. She's like, I just think a bed frame we need to be able to put the clothes into the bed frame. We'll have more room in the closet. And it's like all these things because 2 people living in the one room. We were just like, I was like, okay. And I put it off for like a week, 2 weeks, just like not having urgency. And she's like, babe. And I was like, okay. Ordered the bed frame. When she came back from Canada, we put it together. It was fun. It was cool. But that smile and just seeing her happy and just accomplishing that one little goal and seeing us like, okay, we fought, but we found a resolution. We accomplished it. Bigger problems down the road, I feel like it's like setting us up for success. So.
Right. And that's just called chemistry right there. When you found chemistry, the fact that you guys can make really good content on your page. You guys have chemistry on screen, you know.
Appreciate it.
That was another big thing with Lacey and I too, is just the chemistry we had and problem solving, like you're kind of referring to with the bed frame. And even when it comes to sports and stuff, she's interested in doing activities. And when you have that chemistry with somebody, that's really how you know it's locked in. If you're in your relationship and you always feel like she's trying to convince you to do something you don't want to do, and you're always trying to convince her to do something she doesn't want to do, you don't have chemistry there, you know. And it's not like that's going to be like that for everything, but I mean, if it's something simple, you know, like what would be a really good example? I think something really simple is like if you guys are struggling to just figure out what movie you want to watch, or you're struggling to figure out like you really think
what to eat.
Yeah, what to eat, right? You guys can't, I mean, it has to become an argument. That's a problem. You guys just lack chemistry. Like, I can get it. You can argue about what to eat sometimes.
But it's bare basic stuff. Like,
right.
But funny you brought that up. I'm going to do a TikTok video for that. I'm going to be like, what she wants to eat. And it's going to be like me in a little chef's hat. And I'm going to be like cutting up a piece of paper. And it's going to be like, I don't know. And I'm going to be putting it in the oven with like a pan. And it's going to be like, you pick.
Right. Yeah, obviously, I think the only reason sometimes you might argue over something simple is because you guys both know you shouldn't be arguing over it, and that's what makes it frustrating, you know. But
or just stubbornness.
Yeah, sure too.
People are just stubborn as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see. Honestly, since I first met you, like seeing you in a relationship now, it's like seeing a whole new metamorphosis of you, man.
I appreciate it.
It's like you're still like you're high energy, but I don't know. You seem. I don't know. You could just tell you have a really strong woman in your life. I think behind every strong man is a strong woman. It's just true.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
Because you're in a partnership. It's a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that locked in, one's just carrying the boat.
Yeah.
It's a heavy ass boat.
Yeah, it is. It is. So you guys are both in Riverside, and dude, what's funny?
No, OC.
I
drive an hour every day. Dude, yeah.
Why are you in OC?
Because
not in the Mamba office. That doesn't make sense.
You're not going to get that clipped right here, but we can. I will say it's just it's the Spartans office. I've rode with these boys.
So why didn't you stay in Riverside?
Because you want to live in Riverdale.
I lived there for the 2 years we were down there.
But would you live a third?
Well, not if I'm working out here.
But would you?
If I'm working out there, yeah, I would. Duh. I only moved here for like convenience.
I couldn't. Like, for the money that we make, for the lifestyle that we live, for expensive how my lifestyle is, like being in OC, being in like Newport, being around all of that money, that makes me be like, okay, there's no day I can just fuck off. Like, there's no day that I cannot work because there's guys driving Ferraris, Lambos.
Right.
Like every single TRX is like my biggest thing is living in Riverside. It's no offense to it,
right.
But I'm at the point in my life where I like to live at that caliber, and it makes me want to be able to work harder, and it makes me want to create that like kind of prestige environment for not just me but for my guys.
That's a good reason. So all your guys live in OC too?
No, they all live in Riverside.
Okay.
I am the only dedicated 50-minute driver, sometimes an hour and 15 every morning.
Now, is it company housing in OC?
Mm-hmm. So I live in Mamba housing, Buckland.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Buckland's apartment
This
sheet.
is so interesting.
Shout out Buckland. Thanks, Buckland.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for real. That's awesome. But I just don't understand. Okay, now I get it. It's not practical. Wow, that's actually, it's pretty profound that you're putting yourself in an environment that pushes you to like morph into it. Because yeah, you are right. Riverside and Moreno Valley, I think I'm more practical in the way I think. Like, I just want a shorter drive. But I do understand that every time I wanted to go to Topgolf, I had to drive, out. Or anytime I wanted to go to the beach or go to Disneyland or Knott's. If we wanted to do anything that's like photo worthy, we had to take that commute to LA. So I guess, you being closer to that scene, that's better in a lot of ways.
And the aura, the energy. Just like Riverside's, to me, just... It's a little bit more of like a darker kind of energy. Like, it's
so interesting.
Yeah, I feel compressed. I just feel compressed there. Like, I feel free. And OC, like the food's amazing. Like, just the people are nice. Like, it's just, I'm happy to drive to work because it forces me to stay out there. It forces me to recruit.
That's
it
true.
Forces me to get every single thing done. So my car is my office at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't come back.
That's huge, though. Yeah, because working in where the area you live, that's something you struggle with everybody.
It's so hard, especially with our reps. They can go right back to the apartment. They have a bad day, and it's like
Their Uber's a 15-minute. That's a $15 Uber back home.
Yep.
But if they're an hour away, that's a $100 Uber, and that's something they're not gonna.
And then they text us 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Hey, dude, can I borrow $50 for
Right.
food?" And we feel bad, and we're like, "Yeah, but what about the Ubers? What about the vapes? What about everything else that you spent your money on? That like, you could have managed it properly."
Yeah, that's big. That's real big. Well, that's actually really cool, man. That's admirable in terms of like you taking the commute. Because like I said, we live here now because the commute was killing me. It's 3 hours out of your day.
Your drive to core is probably
driving.
so bad with traffic every single day. That's insane.
What are you talking about?
Do you have to drive to Correlation every single day? You go from the second floor to the first floor. Traffic on the stairs is probably crazy.
Yeah, I was so confused.
It took him a second.
I
He's
was
like,
so confused.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. Yeah, no, but in reality, last year I lived in Riverside, and we got out of company housing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's where it was hard because.
How is it for
Did
Lee?
you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, there's my phone. Thank you, babe. I found it now. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
There's Lacey. There we go.
Thank you, Lacey. I literally texted her, "Hey, babe, I lost my phone. Can you help me find it?" And then that was her calling me to help me find it.
I'm crying.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's good. That was right there. But no, yeah, I was I was doing college, So
I got a question for you though. How is it for Lacey being in the environment? Like, of course, you guys were together when you came in here, but how is it like her adapting to like not having any friends? Like it just,
out here?
Yeah. Like how is it for her like adapting? How is that transition? Because that's one of the biggest things that like we've struggled with.
You and your girl?
Well, she's got her whole life in Canada, and it's like she's wants to meet here. She's gonna have a couple friends and stuff like that. But it's like I wanted to know how is that transition for her because now like she's got a baby in the oven, so it looks like it did well.
Well, you may not know, but this is where she was born and raised here in Lancaster. Her family's here, and all of her lifelong friends are here.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that's the cancer I cured by getting from Riverside to here as well. So now her mom lives 10 minutes away in Lancaster, her mom and dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But it was hard.
Do they have solar?
Yeah. I just got him a 14 kilowatt system.
Hey, let's go. Round of applause.
Oh, yeah. Hooked to my father-in-law up. But
awesome.
In terms of that was an adjustment because at first she came up to Tracy when we were in Tracy.
Yeah.
And, but that was just like, she wanted the adventure. She was 18 at the time, you know? So fresh out of high school, she came up and started working with us. And I was 20 when I started. So, yeah, that was awesome. She loved living in apartments. And, Khalid and his wife, that they were her roommates, so she bonded with Khalid's wife.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Khalida.
That was probably the smoothest transition in the world.
Then when we got actually together and married, we had Aiken and Sage as our roommates. I don't think they're together anymore, so I don't want to talk more on that. But
We'll pass that one.
Yeah, those were we Vic and Will. The agreement.
Pour one out for the homies.
Yeah, the agreement for us was just keep us with couples. Don't put me with single guys. And
okay.
It's huge, man, because like you're saying, the friends thing. You really need to find someone for your girl, or you guys should honestly be making more friends with people that are in your stage of life in a relationship.
Oh my gosh, I love that you just said that.
Yeah.
Because that was our conversation this morning. We had at 8:30 on my way over here. Literally, it was like, it's crazy actually because we were talking about this. So today in core, I'm going to talk about like all these guys should be sharing the page. Like the biggest thing is like it's the vision, like Iron Mill, Legends, Balboas, Jungle U, Spartans. Like it's the identity, it's the culture. So like anybody who's a part of that, they should be sharing it. And my girl was like, "You got guys in your office that who cares if they think some of the context cringe? Text it. Start a comment war in there. Like if you do actually like us, like." why is it an issue? And it's pretty crazy. Like, we're having this conversation because she's like, I can't believe that your workers are all like that. They can't just like it. They can't do that. And it's like,
I know it almost comes off stingy. It's weird.
Well, she was like, we need to find people that are in our space. And like, the problem is like they work and do social media full time. Right. And me, I own a clothing company. I do artist management.
You do? Yeah. What clothing company?
So I own it with Bach Nero. It's Fuck Fear, Travel More. So it's Bach, Cha, and then me.
You got a page for it?
Yeah, it's in my bio.
Sweet. Yeah. I actually had a question. There's a guy, Lord of the Pit. Shout out Lord of the Pit. He commented,
dude, this guy,
we had a deal, so are you going to honor your end and pay me? And I wanted to call him out just for the pure engagement, you know, because like you said, I love negative comments.
We're clipping this out, but he made me this fucking mural. And it's hideous.
What is it?
It's horrible.
A mural of what?
The Legends logo. It's
it's
these like little imprinted things that get like, I'm sorry for being that guy. Lion? I would never tell someone that like, hey, make this for me, and then I don't want it. But unfortunately, it's not at the caliber that I want, and he's trying to charge me something ridiculous, like $1,000 for something that's 36 inches. I'm sorry. I apologize completely.
It's about what? It's about.
It's like this big, but when you looked at it, it looks like a 7-year-old painted it.
What? It's a painting?
It's literally these little things that like goes into a board that he clips in, and then you like take like an iron and go over it, and it like.
Dude, I already know what you're talking about. We made those in like second grade.
Dude, so
I know what you're talking about.
That's the we deal thing.
Why did you order that?
I didn't. I met this guy in Vegas playing poker at like the Bellagio, and we're just chopping it up.
Where all bad deals are made.
Well, I'm running good. I'm running good. He's running good. Usually when I'm at a table, I'll find like 2 or 3 guys that are just chill. They're cool. Like I don't play poker and drink. I play poker like recreationally. Mm-hmm. I just like having conversations. I like reading people. It's just fun. I love poker.
Yeah, it's fun. It's challenging.
If I could play the tour like in a couple years, like I would literally love to take just 6 months and just travel and play the tour and see how well I do, because I play a lot of tournaments and I do well. But I'm sitting at the table with the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm an artist." Da da da. And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let me see your page." And like, I'll never discount someone for having like 100 followers or 1 million followers, right? Like, if it's good art, it's good art. I'll appreciate it. And I looked at his page and I was like, "Oh, dude, the stuff that you made, pretty cool."
Oh, so he has it on his page?
Yeah.
Let me see this.
Oh, here we go.
The Art of the Pit. I was about to say, hey, dude, I don't know Mr. Art of the Armpit or whatever, dude, but like, how, like, he needs to stay in your DMs. What is he? It's private.
Oh, I blocked it.
It says you follow him.
Yeah, I do follow him, but I blocked their comments.
It's not blocked on my end.
Really?
Mm-mm. I want to see his artwork.
Here.
Let me see.
Like, tell me that doesn't look actually pretty cool. Like, from the perspective of it, I was like, okay, that's pretty sick.
Dude, this is stuff made by, like, grade school.
Okay, this is at 1 o'clock in the morning at the casino in Vegas.
Were you even a little drunk? Like, come on, bro.
I wasn't drunk, but I think it was probably the Pokemon that got me. It caught my eye.
And you didn't realize maybe how it was cheap and flimsy those things are?
Well, no, I did after he sent me the product halfway through. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what did I get myself into?
$1,000?
Yeah. I'm like, what is
he on?
It was like 800 and something. I'm like, what did I get myself into?
No,
so it's like,
no, dude, this neon sign was 800 plus. You know what I'm saying? And that took weeks.
That's incredible.
But those little iron things, bro, it takes you like 2 minutes, dude. 2 minutes, dude. It's like an arts and crafts project.
We're airing this guy out. And
we should. It's an arts and crafts project, dude. That's crazy. I hate when people do like the bare minimum type of work.
No, he worked. Okay, so I'm not going to say that he didn't work hard on this, because he did. I'm not going to discredit him. I am 100% going to give him his flowers. I can't discredit him. He did. He did work and bust his butt. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it's not something that I can't showcase. It's something that I'm literally going to buy, and I'm probably going to put it behind the Christmas ornaments.
It would be a coaster on your table, bro.
Oh, no. I'm going to put it behind the Christmas ornaments, or put it behind the couch.
Okay.
And like hide
How
the
big
couch.
is it? It's like this
It's
big?
like from the Instagram picture, it looked like this. I don't have it in hand. Maybe we should just get it just to
Yeah.
like actually like. Should we do that? Like,
Maybe.
should we like hold this and then be like,
I don't know. I'll clip it when you show me the picture of
Yeah.
it. We'll just put it in post. But that's funny, dude.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody who had arts and crafts in second grade already knows what that stuff is.
And I feel so bad because me and the dude were vibing at the table. He was a cool guy. A lot of people hate us loud guys at the poker table, but like, I liked him. He was a Viking. Like he reminded me of like the Viking kind of vibes. Not Uhtred from the Last Kingdom, but we could be cousins.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's funny though. That's
Yeah.
really too bad. I did a little bit of art dabbling, but I never charged $800. I used to customize like shoes. I used to like paint it. That was right before solar.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I customed one for Will Silva, like my first few deals. I got him a pair of Vans that had like the Jungle U on it and stuff.
I think I remember those.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it was all black Vans, his favorite type of pair, and then on the sole, in like green and white, almost looked like graffiti style. It just said Jungle U.
I think I remember those.
Yeah, it's Silva's. It was cool.
It's so crazy to think about like the Tracy office and then the Riverside office where there was 150 people in a 800 square foot office that felt like the floor was going to cave in.
It did. I mean, you remember that day that you got bumped against the glass whiteboard and the glass shattered? Remember that? After a leg wrestling match?
So that's not what happened.
I have a video.
No.
You got bumped backwards.
No.
Your back hits the wall.
No.
And this probably $500 black glass whiteboard just comes crumbling down.
Oh, that's
Behind
the
you.
first time. Oh, I thought you were talking about the window that I broke and threw the dart at.
You said you broke that too.
You don't remember when I threw the thing sideways like I was like in the MLB throwing a guy out?
Submarine pitched it?
No, I literally thought I was trying to do a double play, and I'm literally
Oh my
sitting there
goodness.
trying to be all cocky. I think it was with Joe.
Yeah.
And I chuck it, and then the dart literally gets stuck. Like the darts wouldn't even get stuck in the dartboard.
Yeah.
It got stuck in the glass and just stood there, and I'm just like, all I hear is it just crickling. It's just, and then, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
the whole thing. I do remember when that happened.
Vic goes, "You're paying for that." I'm like, "Fuck!" And then I call the guy, and dude, it was like $2,000.
Yeah, dude, that was a big window. it was like a 7-foot window.
And these kids are complaining about $20, and I'm over here paying $2,000 for a window because of.
I'm waiting for the window you're gonna break in my house because
Come on, give me a little bit more credit. It's called, if you don't improve 1% a day, then what are you doing? I improved. It's been 4 years. I've improved at least 1,200% since then. Come on now.
That's actually cool though. Seeing everybody improve. You know, I need Josh Montanez on this pod because I never expected my boy to be hitting like he is right now in Puerto Rico. It's amazing.
Habla español, sí, señor.
Sí.
Sí.
Sí, yo
Hey,
entiendo.
you give me a good deal? Okay. What do I got to do to qualify? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love Spanish deals. That's why I love being out here. Like I love,
There's a lot.
but it's not a sale. Spanish deals aren't a sale. Most people don't realize that it's a conversation.
Exactly, yeah.
It's emotional.
It's super emotional. They're very I mean, I don't really blame them, but you got to just earn their trust. And that's why I shout out David at Ibarra. He's done one of our best because I mean, when I come to those sets, he's usually on the couch, you know, eating dinner, flirting with their daughter or whatever. I mean,
Whoa.
they
Flirting with the daughter.
I mean, this is the kind of guy he is.
Okay. All right.
But, they really need to feel like you're like a primo, man. They need to feel like you're one of their family.
Literally.
Yeah, and then at that point, I mean, the only thing I that happens a lot is when the dads see like a monthly price. There's at that point sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes there's like they'll just shut down, you know, and the whole family's trying to convince them. But I don't know what it is about Hispanic fathers when they see anything that has to do, like if they feel even the slightest like they're being sold something, their mind goes, no, I could build it myself. I don't need this guy to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's kind of why
we'll do it cash.
That's kind of why I like to build so much on just like the relationship over the sale. And like, honestly, now I'm blessed. I'm very blessed I have Yenny, and I have David. I'm building a whole new Spanish department. So it's
Yenny's full Spanish?
Yeah. So you know me. I've always had Derwin. Always had a Spanish, and it's like,
what happened to him? He's still selling.
Dude, he's crushing it right now. I'm so proud of D.
Where did he go?
Dude, he's selling fiber, unfortunately. And it's like,
is that solar?
No. So fiber optics. So like,
I've heard of this.
Like Fios and stuff like that, like cable. So he's trying to do the golden door. He's at 234 accounts, which is awesome. But we did the math, and Russo was talking to him. He's at like 30 grand, 40 grand for 248 accounts.
No way.
Dude, if we did 248 accounts, if a setter...
You're a millionaire.
If a setter did a tenth of that, 24 accounts.
Man, he's such a positive guy, too. He's
incredible, and he cares about his mom. He cares about his family. Yeah. And again, it's the Spanish, and it's like, Yenny, she's got her daughter, David, he's got his kid as well, and his son, and it's having the why. And it's like, I just want them to be able to just build a massive department, not to just help out themselves, but to help out like other Spanish setters. And it's like, there's a whole demographic in California that we're not tapping into.
It's huge.
Dude, look at Puerto Rico. There's kids that don't even speak Spanish.
Over there,
You can't teach grit. You can't teach grind. You can't teach like just the willing to just figure it out.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. And most people are like, they're like, okay, cool. I can't figure it out, so I'm going to get it done. And shout out those two guys that I've seen on the Instagram. They're just like, doesn't speak Spanish.
That was cool.
Chat GPT. Chaz is out there. I'm like.
Chaz is out there too. Huh?
Dude, I'm like, the kid's selling in Spanish. And I'm like, I appreciate that because I did that when I was in Vivint. Like,
right. Well, the benefit is that it's the same convo every time. So that's why I'm able to do decent Spanglish.
¿Te hablo español?
You're asking if I do. I mean, yeah. I say
yo.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yes, I say, well, my first statement will be yo soy un pocho. That means I'm a whitewash.
Okay.
Or like I'm half and half.
Okay.
My name's Thomas Perez, and I am half Mexican from my dad's side, super white from my mom's side. Wait, did you say you got like Viking heritage from like your background?
Irish and Italian.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping I do.
Oh, okay.
Because I got the long hair. So it's like.
Yeah, you look a little Nordic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
That's our background though. Thurston.
But that's our ancestors. It doesn't matter even if you weren't Viking. Like they used to hunt. They were primal.
My grandpa last name was Thurston, and that literally means Thur is a word that comes from Thor. And then stun, it's like son of or something like that. Okay. I don't know, but Thurston, it's part of Thor.
Thurston. Mm-hmm. Thurston. Hello, Thurston.
Yeah, so my grandfather's name was Thomas Ray Thurston. Ray Thurston.
Thomas Ray Thurston.
There you go. Oh, dude, that's pretty good accent.
He's not bad. He's very good.
Yeah, and now I'm Thomas Ray Perez. So I tell him, I'm
so you go from Thomas Ray
to Thomas Perez.
Thomas Perez. Sí. My name Thomas. Sí, Mr. Perez.
Yo estoy trabajando en su barrio con todos sus vecinos. ¿Tú conoces su vecino María?
Bueno, claro, señor. No gringo.
Yeah, they usually give me props, but I have to always preface with that I'm a whitewash. Yo no hablo bien. Yo entiendo más y menos. And I say, pero,
Do you know what you're doing, though? You're literally...
Yeah.
They appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any culture appreciates that. The fact that you're, like, willing to come into the reality of the realm, because it's like, how hard is for them to speak English? Like, sometimes there's a dialect, and it's like...
For sure. But the good thing is that both the languages, English and Spanish, they both come from Latin. So they share so many words. Like, for example, pay. Like, pay your bill. Do you pay your bill? Pay is pagar. So it's pagar, yeah.
Pagar.
So you say paga. So like, paga, su bill de la luz. ¿Cuánto paga? And I say, how much you pay? ¿Cuánto paga? And guess how you say use? Like, how much do you use? Usar.
Usar.
So like... you say like su familia usan 6,000 kilowatts. So I say your family used 7,000 kilowatts. And so it says it's like, and if I said it's no more how much you use, how much you pay, I say no más cuánto usan su paga ahorita. That means now. It's cuando usan. That means when you use.
Cuando.
Cuando. That's
Cuando.
when.
Not cuanto. Cuando.
Cuando and cuanto. Those
No.
are two different.
Not cuanto.
No, cuanto is how much.
Sí, but
and cuando
cuando
is when.
Sí.
So it's nicely alliterated. It's just like when and how. In fact, it goes together better than when and how much poetically. Because that's a big part of how you put linguistically your words together. Like that's why I like to say it's no longer the more you use, the more you pay. I have like little lines. I want it to sound like a lyric, you know, and then you break the stanza by saying now it's, so I say it's no longer the more you use, the more you pay. Now it's when you use, you get punished. And that break in the stanza sounds more dramatic.
Oh, it does.
Or you get penalized, you know?
Again, emotional.
Correct, yeah. You got to...
You notice like with Spanish setters that like taking our pitch from English and giving it to a Spanish setter, it's like, that's why I can't wait for that to be built fully, because it's like, instead of me just putting it with another Spanish setter out there or just giving them a pitch and having a chat GPT and translate it, we can change the enunciation on some of the words, because it's like, it's not this, it doesn't sound the same. Mm-hmm. And especially like when you say certain words to other families in a different language, it doesn't correlate properly sometimes.
Like when you're trying to translate Google Translate?
Well, just in general, like if you just try to translate to, I wish Yenny was here or David was here to be able to explain it, but it's like, we'll take a pitch that we use, which is net metering, and we'll try to just chat GPT and transition it. And it's like, some of the words just, they're not fluid.
Right.
And then the homeowner's like...
It has a lot to do with sentence structure too. A Spanish sentence is not... It's not structured the same as an English sentence. That has to do with the position of the nouns and the verbs and stuff, or the subjects, you know. So, yeah, it gets complicated. But that my guys here, I wish Yenny was here and Clayson, because they all have history. So, how did you come into contact with your team, and what is your method for recruiting other closers and like other vets in the industry?
Great question. Love that question. Vets and closers, we'll start with vets first. So if I'm trying to recruit somebody that's in pest control or alarms or roofing, first off, I'm not just recruiting them because I'm trying to transition them from one industry to another. First thing is I want to see if they actually can handle that transition. Like the environment that we have, the environment that we create, the culture, I've lost a lot of friends in it.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's so combative to them to be able to make that transition unless they really see the vision for solar and they really see like, hey, I'm done doing 300 accounts to go make $100,000 in a year or 200 accounts and get a back end check. It's more like, can this guy handle this? Now, from there, what I ask them is like, what do they want? What are they looking for? Do they want to build a team? Because what I'll do is I'll give you the roadmap. You can come in. Unfortunately, you're going to start as a setter because you have to know how to go through the rankings. You have to know if you're going to be a good manager, a good closer. You have to be able to train the guys from the ground up. And starting back over in a new industry, it's like kind of an accelerated course. So if you're that stud, you're going to get it done in a month.
Right.
If you're that guy, you're going to get it done in 2 months. The metrics shouldn't mean anything to you.
Right.
So that's what I'm pushing on first is like promotion. And then it's like, how big do you want to make this? So Yenny, for example, met her, Garrett Allen, actually.
My boy.
And
how did you met her through Garrett Allen?
Dude,
he needs to come back.
I play chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
That's just where it's at. Like, I appreciate the twins for like being real, but you have to play chess. And it's like, instead of like Garrett saw her, they hooked up, they did their thing. I met her at the bar and she's like saying, oh yeah, hate rides, I work for Radix and all these other companies. And like, she just seemed like a dog. And after they hooked up, they kind of like fizzled out. Me and her became friends and like got close.
So when was this? You were around Garrett Allen recently?
No, this is 3 years ago. This is literally Tracy when we came from Tracy to Riverside within that first like 3 to 6 months.
So you're talking about May 1st, 2022.
Yep. Like around that time.
Well, I was talking to Garrett at that time. That's when me and Garrett, maybe it was 2023 I started hanging out with Garrett then.
So Garrett had...
Because he was my first car group driver, but we weren't like hanging out maybe till the year after.
Okay. But yeah,
it was 2023.
They hooked up. We became friends, and I just always try to get her to come over here because one, she spoke Spanish, but it's like she would text me and be like, "I'm in a deal." I'm like, "Okay, I'm in one too." She'd be like, "I'm at 2 for the day." I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm at 1." She'd be like, "Oh, I'm at 4." And I'm like, "I'm at 5." And it was just like this, like we didn't get anything out of it. It was just like pushing each other, just like silently.
Yeah.
And I stopped hitting her up because I didn't want to be that annoying guy. Usually, like, I'll reach out to people like once, twice, maybe 3 times if I really think they might need a little extra push, and then I'll just leave it at that. They can look at the social media page. They can kind of see, like, what the environment is, and if they want to reach out, they will. She did. And she's like, I just had my girl. I want to come back. And I kind of gave her my vision. And it's like what I personally want. I want to be able to have an environment for my guys. Like the biggest thing I see is like with a top closer is they can't recruit. So what I want to be able to give that closer that comes into my operation is an opportunity to have those setters, but I want to be able to teach them how to fish.
Give me more context on that. You mean a top closer in another industry can't recruit?
Yeah. Or in solar industry in general too.
Because they're all self-gens?
Yeah.
I that's probably the biggest thing that I appreciate about New Sun, or which was Rise, but that it has to be a setter model. And I like what you said, starting them out base, because that's kind of the ideology that I'll never ask you to do something I've never done myself, that I haven't done myself. Managers who do ask something from their reps that they've never even personally been through,
going to knock a door.
Exactly. They lack a lot of empathy. They're going to lack a lot of understanding. They're not even going to be able to give them the necessary tools to get it done because they don't even know what it takes.
They don't know how to comprehend and formulate the words to even put it into motion.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I like, because when we're recruiting, people out of the industry, at least not me personally. Yeah. I kind of always bring people on baseline. The most I would do is bring them on as a setter cap if they have recruits.
But bring them, that's the thing. Bring them in and make them, because you got to ask them this question. Okay. If they're coming to this opportunity, it's one of 2 things. One, they really, really do see like exactly what's going on, but they're probably in a shitty situation. They're probably got screwed over
they need money.
They probably got screwed over by their last company.
Always happens.
It's literally the same situation. And it's like, it's nothing worse than seeing a high volume rep broke, because it's like seeing a rookie that can't get his first set. Those 2 correlate again, but this guy's a dog or this girl's a dog and they can get out of it. So you're just like mindset. And it's just like from there, dude.
I can't tell you how many times I've been approached by my boys like Gideon and Clayson, and they're talking to some closing like, yeah, this guy wants like a $5,000 signing bonus. It's 10,000. I'm like, dude, who do you think I am, bro? No, if he can come out here and sell a deal, he'll get that on his first deal. Why do I need to give that to him to be here?
I was talking to a Sunrun Direct guy at the gas station. I've got 5 guys in the car. They're pumping. They were like putting the gas tank to put it up so we can leave. And the guy goes, "Oh, you guys work for New Sun?" And I'm just sitting in the car. My guys know one of 2 things happens. One, we're just gonna see him and be like, yeah, not our cup of tea. Or 2, I'm gonna have a conversation with the guy just to kind of catch the feel, right? And I was like, he was trying to recruit my guys, and I rolled down the window. I was like, "What's up, buddy? How are you?" I'm Gucci. He's like, "What's your first name?" I'm like, "I'm Gucci." Sorry, I'm not gonna give you my first name.
Nice.
We just met each other, and
nice.
He's like,
I need to come up with a freaking alias like that. Oh my gosh, that's great. Go ahead, keep going.
TP.
I'm gonna, something TP. That's good. Yeah.
But shout out to Patton, by the way. But pretty much, I rolled down the window. I was like, dude, I know we all in the same industry, but like, how long you been doing it? Like, are you married to the company? He's like, that's a great question. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, I know you appreciate the company, you're ride or die, but like, if there was a better opportunity, not for you, but for your guys, would you be so limited to that mindset that you would at least hear it out? And he was mind blown. And I was like, I don't like recruiting like the normal person, just like I don't like knocking doors like a normal person. I don't like confrontation, but at the same time, it's like, it's a psychology to it. And like, I kind of like to be understanding because it's your perspective, my perspective, and then the outside perspective on how the situation is as well. And a lot of people forget about that when it comes to recruiting, because it's like, they're still human, they're still life. They have their whole culture they're they're married to, just like us. Like if somebody trying to recruit us, but it's like, that's why when I see a closer, I'm like, dude, what do you want? Do you want to build a massive team? Because that's what I want to do here, bro. I want to get to the point where I'm just building online social media.
Right.
I'm finding guys that have a good personality, that like the content, that want to be a part of that. And then they want to be able to kind of plug and play and be able to do it themselves. But I'm not going to be young forever. I'm 31. Like I want somebody to be able to step up, but I want multiple people to step up, but I want to help them.
Right.
Because no one's ever helped me. And I've been self-made, self-taught my whole time. And it's like, God gave me a gift that no matter what tribulations I get put through, I'm going to keep pushing. And that's what I try to instill in them. And I'm like, dude, your problem's this. Let's figure it out together. You don't have to be alone.
I love that self-drive, bro. I'm right there with you. Then personally, even that's so interesting. Like how you say you got to know what you want, because I think that people are gonna do and be where they want to be. So they like you can pitch somebody about how much we make on a deal, all these great incentives about our culture, but if they never like,
but what's the long-term goal, Tom?
Right? If they never adopt that,
but what's next year? What's the year after? It's like, cool, you can make $500,000, but what do you have next year? Do you have 10 guys that can go make $1 million instead of you making the $1 million? Like,
that's what I want to see. Yeah. For me, being in leadership, I only find satisfaction from seeing my guys make money and do well, and then seeing them start doing their own recruiting and their own leadership skills.
Do you get a sales high anymore for selling one deal? Not really.
That's a great question.
Me, dude, it takes 3 or 4.
Yeah,
it takes 3 or 4, dude.
For me, it takes like at least 5 in a week to get that hit again. I gotta feel that
in a day, bro.
In a day, probably. Well, what's crazy is I just had a 3-day last week, and I actually felt more exhausted than anything. I just wanted to hit the sack, dude. Because then I'm already thinking about correlation the next day. And sure, I don't give myself enough time to enjoy it, but I honestly, let me be straight up with you. I used to live for the sales high, but now I live for the high that I get when I get home and I see Lacey with the baby in the oven cooking my food. I can smell the chicken in the oven. That's what I seek. That's what gives me like my pleasure now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to come home and I see my son. We just came down on a name officially. And so
let's drop it right now.
I can't.
We have to.
No, she's going to drop at the baby shower. I got to honor that.
Okay, well, let's just post this clip afterwards. So
I can't. Once the name's out in the air, it's out in the air, and then there's only one way. If it ever comes back to me, there's only one way it could.
Okay, is it? Can I ask 3 questions?
Go ahead. I'll give you 3 questions.
Okay. Is it a religious name?
Yes.
Let's see how quick he answered that one. Okay. What's the name next to, like John 3:16? What's the number next to the name? Because I know
you're asking what reference.
What reference?
Where can you find the reference?
Yeah, it's a great question, right?
No, that's a good question. I'll give it to you. Hold on.
I've never done this before, but I feel like this is a fun rodeo.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the name too.
Do you think I can figure it out? Is the question?
Probably not. It's in the book of Daniel.
It's in the book of Daniel. Okay. Is it okay.
3rd question.
I know. Let me get my.
These are great questions, by the way.
My genie lamp is going to disappear after this.
I know people who are Christians that wouldn't have been able to come up with, questions like that. It's in the book of Daniel, though. There's a couple stories in Daniel, a couple great Bible characters. I want to name him one of the characters.
Okay.
In the book of Daniel. Did you grow up in church at all? Do you have faith? Wow, I want to hear more about that. Anyway, give me your 3rd question.
My 3rd question. Do. Is it the first or the last 12 letters in the alphabet?
First. There you go. Good luck.
My guess was going to be Zachariah.
That would be a really good guess. That's actually a really good guess. When you hear the actual name, you're going to realize how close you were. You're really close. Like really close. Like really close. Anyway, so back to you being able to recruit closers. I think, again, a big thing, like especially with all the content, like we're just saying, like putting out content is how you broadcast your culture. That's why the Iron Mill, Honestly, I just thank God for giving me like that creative spark. I like back in college before I was even in solar, I wanted to do a podcast and I wanted it to be called Iron Sharpens Iron from the get-go.
That's crazy because Vivian had that and I was on that podcast a couple times.
Really? And that was my inspiration. But then I was like, man, it needs to be something that's more unique because I was looking up, there's so many Iron Sharpens Iron this, Iron Sharpens Iron that. So then I thought, okay, what about like where is iron forged, right? Something like that. And then that's where I got the iron mill, kind of like the steel mill.
Okay.
Right. The iron mill. It's like a metal shop essentially.
I love that you say that because my identity for trying to get my flag up there. That's the game plan. We're trying to get to a point where we're producing 20 to 30 deals a week.
Right.
But, Legends University, it's like a university to be able to create legends. And it's like,
don't you have the Stratton Oakmont? Like Lion, you might need something a little more unique.
So
if you want any constructive criticism,
we updated it.
Okay, I got to see it.
Yeah, it's updated.
You can't have like a 1-for-1 copy.
It's updated.
I was gonna say you're never gonna find unique identity.
That was Gen 1, but Gen 2 it was just like always in Vivint. I was like the man, the myth, the legend. Like you sold 20 in a week, 7 in a day, and it was like, oh, here's the legend. And I was like, when I was talking to these guys, the reason why I did the Oakmont Stratmont logo is when I was in Hawaii. I was there for 2 months, and literally somebody I was talking to when I was on the island was like, we watched literally the movie, and then she was like, you recruit just like this. And I was like, okay, well, Stratton Oakmont, that's going to be the start of the logo. And it was like, how can you create this identity? And I want to be able to create legends. I want people to do like outrageous numbers. I want people to take what they think is normal just because they've never done it before, shoot for that, because that's how my whole career started. I've never did double digits before. My best week was 8 when I did Vivint, and then I kind of out of nowhere and sold 16 by Thursday. My mind said, if I told it I can't do it, you think I would accomplish that? No, I said, I don't care. I'm going to figure it out. And it's like this generation, it's like once they see one form of we can't accomplish this, they kind of give up on themselves and they just won't like keep pushing that limit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But to get back to the recruiting for the closers, like I want to build an environment for these guys. I want them to not feel like they're being managed or coached or like told what to do. I want them to feel like it's a home. It's like, hey, what do you need help with? How can I help you get to the next level? Because at the same time, I want you to know my vision. I want to know your vision. Do they correlate with each other?
Right.
I'd love to have guys that, like me and you, made the reel yesterday. I want guys that are in my operation. I've got a couple that love to do that, but I want to do on like a mass level. Like a lot of these like Instagram guys, like Kaysen, for example, he's been going with his mom and dude, he's been crushing it. But at the same time, it's like, I want those guys like kind of with me to be able to like massively take it. Not him specifically, but just like
it would be like a social media superstar team, like the Avengers.
Dude, think about the closers, like just having a little bit of personality. Guys would want to work with you. You would be more inclined. Like even if you've got 4 or 5, 6, 7 guys, like they're ride or dies. You just need those 4 or 5. You need 3 dudes that take over the whole world. And it's just like,
is there enough turf for the rest of us? That's another big thing. The more closers, the more it's like, that's why Jungle, you had to split up because there's just there's too many studs for one tiny area. You got to break it up and start spreading out, you know?
But that's the thing. There's other closers, but there's not other closers with us. We don't compete, we dominate. That's the difference. So I don't care if a homeowners talk to 10 other people. They didn't get it for a reason.
Oh, for sure. Right, I hear you on that.
So it's like that those closers are still around here, and it's like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I would just, what do you think of Bakersfield? Why do you think nobody's over there?
Do you want to really know? Because once you live there, you don't get out.
It's like a black hole.
Dude. It's like Vegas decided to take everybody that hated life and put them in a city, and they just don't leave. It's like Waco, Texas, like that TV show where they all just live in this little town and they just never leave. It's like Nuketown. It's
so
like
Bakersfield, they just have people that are just shut off and they're not.
It's just I didn't like it. I sold 4 deals when I was out there, but like I was there for a week and it was just I don't like those customers. I didn't like the vibe. I didn't like the people. Like if I was to choose 2 areas, like I love SoCal. I love Lancaster. I just like people that will just show me their personality. Like I just want people to like deserve to save the money. But
I see what you're saying.
Also at the same time, it's like,
Well, I'd be able to build a relationship with them. If
Yeah.
you can't find that ability, I mean, yeah, it really is just mind-numbing sales, and there's no enjoyment.
there's no substance.
There's no it's not wholesome anymore.
Like I'm not knocking doors anymore, so I try to build a relationship. If I'm with 4 people, I'm with 2 people. I've tried to build a genuine relationship with them.
Yeah.
So like it carries me through the day. It gives me a good energy. Makes me
Right.
feel good.
It does. Yeah.
Even if I'm on a shit day. Like I literally, the doors in the home, it's my therapy.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like a therapist sometimes.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love being able to sit down as a guest and hear all their problems, hear all their victories, hear all their life stories and all their great memories and their aspiration and vision for their future. And I love wanting to be a small piece of that picture frame for them,
They remembered you just a little bit.
Right.
Because heroes die, legends live forever.
Yeah.
Favorite quote from Sandlot.
I think you messed up the wording a little bit, but that is the overall.
No, Sandlot.
I thought it's legends never die.
Yeah, heroes die, legends live forever.
Hold on. Let me look it up. Hold on. I thought when you were coming up with a
It was the Sandlot.
logo, I told you should do Sandlot.
Did you?
That's what I was suggesting. I remember because I think Howie was in that conversation.
Yeah, because it was.
He said, it says, remember kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. That's the quote. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Thank you, Tommy. You're now welcome to Legends University.
You're tripping. Hey, but legends can be part of the Iron Mill. I don't mind.
Hey, Iron can be part of the legends.
You know what I do appreciate? Nah, that's too much. That's too direct of a call out. We'll have to say it off camera. We're going to have to say it off camera. I've got a good little hot take for you.
Just go.
When we
We'll
cut
clip it.
It's impossible.
Why? You just don't want it documented?
I don't like being a copycat, and I already made it for you. Like when it comes to name and branding, I feel like
So Primal is the name. So okay.
no, not Primal. I'm trying to talk about the team names. Like when guys are trying to come up with their office names.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't want to feel like my office name is just like a Jungle U spoof. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel like I'm you know what I'm trying to say here?
I get that.
I need to have a very unique identity so that if I do leave solar, kind of like how the Silvas just set up Jungle Exotics, I can't make my theme. That's why my immediate recommendation was don't have Stratton Oakmont, because you're never going to be identified as legends. You're always going to look
I also didn't want the copyright if we actually did blow up immensely.
Well, there's that too.
That
right?
was, but actually,
that's literally what a copyright is you can't copycat someone else's logo and prowess.
But we're good because actually legality, they haven't re-registered that name in over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's not copyright.
Yeah. Jungle U is very unique, and I love the Jungle U. That's why they have Jungle Exotics. I think that's what makes Jungle U stand out, because it is so one of one. Like where else do you have there's no other jungle. There's the Iron Jungle, but that's The Rock's personal gym maybe, but there's nothing else from that, And that was another consideration I had was what if I named it the Iron Jungle, If The Rock didn't already have a thing like that, but then I was still drawn by, I was like, I can't have my identity feel like something that
is a part of something else.
Exactly, right? And that's why it's the Spartans, the Mambas, why did you put the U? You know what I'm saying? It feels like the Jungle U.
So
you know what I'm saying?
They're trying to create the university kind of vibe.
I know what they're trying to create. I get that.
I get where you're at. And
because I think that might also limit. Well, maybe it's actually smart because you have a target audience there. So that's good, having a target audience. You have a certain age group of ready workers in the position.
But so you bring up the Jungle. They blew up on social media. Dude, shout out Santana, shout out literally what they built and the videos and his mindset on what is building traction, what's building interactions instead of just pumping out content, right? I want to be the next wave just between me and you, bro. I want everyone to be a part of it, though. My first company ever was Universe Productions when I was doing parties for in Orlando for EDM music. And I just realized that all these other companies were just taking business from each other.
Right.
So, dude, you're only taking business with each other because you guys don't like each other. Well, have you guys ever had conversations? Have you guys ever had a like-minded conversation where you're like, okay, well, you guys are doing this, we're doing this. How do we put it together? Like, that's just my brain that's always been like that. And it's like, sometimes it doesn't work out with the personalities and the way that mindset is and just business being business. But imagine if 15, 20 door-to-door guys, all, like the Devin, the Kevin, you, me, any of the guys that like Connor, stuff like them, the twins, and people that are like have traction, we all collabed. Imagine our views were like when we do door-to-door stuff, sometimes 10, sometimes 20, sometimes 100,000, sometimes it hits 1 million, but it's not like all the time. And it's like, imagine if we kicked down the door and really built over that like identity and their 10 million views.
Right.
And it's like, now from there, you taproot 1% of that.
Right.
And some people are just going to watch it. Some people are going to wish they were here. Some people are watching this podcast and they're like, dude, I love this environment. Like, I love what these guys are talking about. Like, how do I get involved? And then they see an ad after you drop the podcast or you drop a video and they're like, oh, I can actually be a part of this. It's not like a selective crew.
Right.
And
I think I need to make an ad. I haven't pushed out an ad.
I'm not right now.
I'm hey, join our team. There's a couple spots left.
Not right now, just because they're pumping out so many right now. I've seen like out of all of our friends,
right?
It's flooded with like 6, 7 of them. So I'm just waiting for it to crash. That's why I'm building like
waiting for the market to crash. That's so funny in terms of recruiting. I
don't want to saturate, and especially like I like to be different. Like I don't manage like most people, which is sometimes a bad thing. And it's like I really try to get personal with these guys. I really try to like not be dad, but like dad and the cool uncle.
Yeah.
And it's like a combo, and it's like a safe space.
That was my big takeaway from the manager retreat was just, you know, they said that these guys don't need another friend. They need you to be their leader. And I think this, my last year, you know, coming out here, managing this team, I mean, running correlation and having everything, every time Nolan would always give me a lot of wind under my sails. He would just remind me, dude, as much as you're just another management team on paper, you really are having the responsibility of running an office. You have to find your own office space, a correlation. And that kind of helped me get like the validation I needed from up. But really, again, the validation comes from how do your guys feel about you? Do they see you as, like you said, like the older brother and not see you as like a boss who just wants to bark orders? Do they see you as a brother in arms on the field with them? Someone they can trust to understand their struggles.
And you know what's crazy about you bring brother in arms? I just have to throw this in here just because you brought up Khalid earlier.
Yeah.
Dude, these closers that don't have setters, they don't want to go knock. Even though they started off and they were in another industry and they used to rip, they were high volume rep, majority of them. Not all of them, they're majority of them.
Right.
And it's like, dude, if your setters aren't throwing down, well, go into the turf right next to them.
Right.
Prove to them, hey, dude, I'm going to your BS appointments.
Yeah.
But I'm just closed the self-gen. And dude, that's what I did when I was in North Cali. And like the vibe with my guys were like, dude, Cam's out here knocking right now at 8 o'clock. I have to be knocking right now. No matter how much I want to get an Uber and go home, out of respect, I'm going to continue to knock. And like it built like an upward kind of momentum.
That's a different type of respect that you get. Yeah. And you brought up Khalid because he just told me he had this like.
Well, we went knocking together.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we went knocking his first day back.
Oh, dope.
Dude, it's just like he was vibing. I was vibing. It's just like.
Well, he literally called me and told me like that he's disappointed in like the drop of production in our industry right now. And he feels like it's because closers have lost their own personal drive to go knock for themselves. And that was huge to hear from him. He's like, you know, if he said that the issue was that people were allowing their setters to set the tone by, you know, the only way to get more deals is to have a setter do it for you. But he's like, if we're already experienced and have the skill set to go out and do better than the setters, we have to be the ones that go out and set the bar for them.
Go do it one day. One day, bro. I knocked 3 hours. Got 3 deals. Wow. You were on the phone when I scheduled the install yesterday.
I remember those were from that day.
That was literally from that day.
That's wonderful.
That's insane. And then on top of it, the guys threw down. So it's like we both. I was able to get momentum, little pocket change to the side, and then on top of it, it motivated them, which is why I came here, bro. I'm getting momentum for the summer.
Dude,
like,
let's go.
I keep telling my guys, I'm like, dude, we're in summer. It's
Yeah.
momentum time. Like, I want you guys to pick everyone's brain as much as you can. I want you to pick one little golden nugget, but I want you guys, after this break and we come back, like, we're at full force, and I want you guys doing like numbers that people have never heard of. And how are you going to do that? The willingness to just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. There's got to be grit.
Grit, bro. Grit.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, dude, I really hope you build this team, because I could see it, man. I could see the vision in your eyes.
Appreciate it, bro.
And I think when you get some like 3 or 4 solid guys that share that vision with you, there's no telling the kingdoms you can conquer. Literally. So, man,
dude, it's been awesome.
It's been awesome, bro.
Appreciate you having me.
Let's go. Let's go get some deals, baby.
Let's go. Run core.